you just never do. You never do until it's too late and you're retired. And then you kind of go, now, what was life about? And then oftentimes some ill fortune might fall upon you. And you kind of go, oh my God, I worked all that time to get to this point. And I was really lucky, Mark, with this. When I don't know what your story was with your own corporate story, but I was working in a company. And over a period of 9 years, I I put in an extra year of work when I totaled at the end of the time the amount of extra days, extra hours, uh, weekends I'd worked during holidays, checking emails, all that stuff. I totaled it up and I went, oh my God, I did an extra year in 9 years. I did an extra year. And then apart from like the fact that I did that for the company, the other thing was like, I did that for the company at the expense of my family. And
Right.
yeah, I might have felt, it was my first job after leaving rugby and I had to build this capability and this skill and this career for myself. But but at the end of it, when I left, nobody stood up at the going away party and went, hey, let me just raise a glass to this guy. Puts in an extra year, didn't even ask for pay. Everybody drink to this guy. No, that's not what happens. What happens is kind of going, what are we going to do now that he's gone? We have to replace him. That's the
Yeah.
question. And again, of course it is. It's their business, and they needed to keep their wheels running. So it's not nobody's fault. That's just reality. And I think that most people don't take that moment to kind of go, whoa, man, what am I doing? Until some issue where the universe steps in and kind of goes, that you're not listening to me here. Take this injury, bang, or fall off your horse, bang. Listen, this I keep telling you, this is not for you. And that's really what drives all the work I do. I'm sure for you as well, it's the same thing. Work you do in organizations, doing this podcast. You're trying to go, look, there's information out there that might make you have a better life. And if you have a better life, then we all have a better experience.
Just out of interest, when you mentioned that moment there where you reflected on, wow, I've put an extra year into this company, and then noticing where that year was being taken from, what was that kind of realization like for you?
Oh well, that was life changing. I remember my older son at the time. He was. I don't think we even had the baby at that stage. He was probably 3. I remember in his little room and all his toys everywhere, and he loves me coming home to play with him, and play with his teddies and all that kind of stuff. And I remember being there physically and having my phone beside me, and I'm checking an email like this. I'm supposed to be playing with him, and a little tiny hand comes up, grabs my hand just gently, that's holding the phone, and he goes, "Daddy, being on your phone is not playing with me."
Oh,
And
wow.
man, I was like, my heart broke, and I was like, I nearly smashed the phone. I was so angry with not myself, just what I'd let happen. And that was actually the moment. I do remember that being the defining moment. And I went, I am out of here.